It's the most powerful show on television. High drama, with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
Speed Station welcomes you to Chicagoland Speedway for the running of the Camping World 400. I'm sure you folks at home remember last weekend at Iowa Speedway when Kyle Busch turned pseudo teammate Christopher Bell into the outside wall under caution, ending both Bell's day and Kyle Busch's chances of winning. Well, after that accident, Kyle Busch has been suspended for this weekend's race at Chicago. His replacement is the 2005 points runner-up, Greg Biffle, 50-year-old in the number 18 car this weekend. Joey Logano wins his first pole of the year, so he is now locked into next season's Busch Clash at the Daytona Road Course. Kevin Harvick qualified second, Austin Dillon third, Ryan Sieg with a good qualifying position in fourth, the rookie Christopher Bell in fifth, Ross Chastain sixth, Denny Hamlin in seventh, Clint Boyer in eighth, Martin Truex Jr. in ninth, Chase Elliott in 10th, and don't forget Greg Biffle qualifying in 11th.
Drivers, start your engines!
Today we have 41 cars going for 107 laps here at Chicago. Stage 1 ends on lap 26 and Stage 2 ends on lap 53. There's the green at Chicago. Logano off to a good jump above Harvick. Austin Dillon trying to take second spot off the 4. Through turns 1 and 2, Austin Dillon has taken second position. Christopher Bell moves up into fourth. Bell with new sponsorship coming from Dex Imaging. Harvick files into third, the top 4 cars, single file. And the first lap will be led by Joey Logano. Kevin Harvick trying to make a move under Austin Dillon. Here comes Harvick. Austin Dillon was able to clear Kevin Harvick, with now Christopher Bell challenging for third position. Fifth position now taken by Greg Biffle in the 18 car. As we mentioned earlier, Kyle Busch absent from this race. 4 wide in the middle of the pack. Ryan Sieg on the bottom. 9-car Chase Elliott on the outside. They get down to 3 wide before they enter turn 3. Still running pretty clean. And Austin Dillon on the inside of Logano will take the lead entering turn 1. While Logano fighting back on the outside line. Now starting to edge the 3-car in the exit of 2, with Christopher Bell going for the spot on the inside. Bell files back into line. Now Logano able to stretch out the lead once again. Reigning champion Clint Boyer on the inside, 3 wide for second position. With this battle going on for second, with Greg Biffle trying to make it 4 wide almost for the spot. That's allowed Logano to gap second position by almost half a second. Now Biffle forcing the 14 up the hill. At the line, it's Clint Boyer for second position. Biffle has help coming from teammate Martin Truex Jr. At the moment, the 18 car of Biffle is into second position, but Martin Truex Jr. goes 3 wide on him down the back straight. Now Truex has a position, Biffle down to third, and Stenhouse trying to make a move up the inside for third position. Here comes Ryan Sieg on the inside, getting past Stenhouse. That moves the 39 car up into third spot. The 19 car of Martin Truex Jr. starting to gain ground on the 22. But we have a large gaggle of cars battling for 10th on back. The 14 car almost got up into the outside wall. Had to back way out of the throttle up on the outside line. Austin Dillon will take third position back. Ryan Sieg being hung out on the outside line, with now Stenhouse going for the position. Martin Truex Jr. on the quarter panel, the 22 down the back straightaway into turn 3. He drives up alongside the 22, and Truex now is the leader. And now, since the 22 car got put up on the outside line, here comes Stenhouse for second position. At the start-finish line, Stenhouse is in second. Ryan Sieg now runs in thirds. Joey Logano still falling back. Now Harvick puts him into fifth. A little bit of contact between the 12 and 13. Ty Dillon and Ryan Blaney getting into it. Now here comes Ryan Sieg on the inside of the 47. Sieg is trying to take second position. He now has the spot. Here comes a 3-wide move on the inside by Logano for second position. That puts him back in the spot. The 39 and 47 were battling side by side, which allowed him to gain so much ground he could put him 3 wide into 3. Now Jimmy Johnson moves up into fourth position on the inside. Last week's winner, Kevin Harvick, runs in third position, trying to get around the 22. He forces him up the hill, down the front straightaway. And at least for a moment, Kevin Harvick holds second position. Joey Logano still trying to fight back on the outside, but Jimmy Johnson goes 3 wide into 3. A power move to the inside gives Jimmy Johnson the second position. Here comes Ryan Sieg to the inside of Johnson. RSS Racing this season actually has a Richard Childress alliance, a direct alliance, similar to that of Germain Racing. So right now, Ryan Sieg is the best running Richard Childress car in the field. But here comes Clint Bowyer to the inside. Looks like Bowyer will take second position off of Sieg. And Joey Logano now on the inside of Clint Bowyer. Eric Jones makes a 3-wide move to the inside, going for fourth position. Jones will get the spot. Brad Keselowski now moves under him. Joey Logano has already moved back in the second position. The 14 car of Bowyer runs in third with the 20 in fourth still, trying to defend his line from the 2. Greg Biffle has fallen back into this second drafting pack. Currently the second car in line behind Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We now have only 10 laps to go in stage 1. Eric Jones making a move on Joey Logano. Martin Truex Jr. still has a controlling lead over the field. And here comes a move by Keselowski, 3 wide to the inside for second. Austin Dillon back up into the top 5. Logano backs out of the throttle. Up on the outside line, he might fall back to 10th position. And Austin Dillon going 3 wide into turn 3 for second. Austin has the spot, but Jimmy Johnson moves him up the racetrack. Martin Truex Jr. still with a controlling lead. Jimmy Johnson will take second, running into turn 3. Ross Chastain moves up into 5th position. 4 wide at the back with Greg Biffle on the bottom, almost going onto the apron to make up positions. Harvick has to back way out of the throttle. A little bit of contact between Bell and Bowyer. They make it through cleanly for now. Jimmy Johnson still in second, but he has a charge coming from Keselowski. Johnson got out of the throttle. Now Keselowski up into second position. Austin Dillon going for third. Greg Biffle back up into the top 10 with that 4-wide move on the inside. Jimmy Johnson tried to make a move on Keselowski, had to get out of the throttle on the entry to turn 1, and that has let Austin Dillon catch up to him. Greg Biffle going 3 wide through the middle. This is for 7th position. We have less than 5 laps to go in stage 1. Truex still with a good lead above Brad Keselowski. Here comes a move by Jimmy Johnson to the inside. Brad Keselowski still retains second position. Austin Dillon up on the outside line of Jimmy Johnson now. That left the door open for Ryan Sieg to get beside the 3. Here comes a dive move by Jimmy Johnson into turn 1 for second spot. Still no one can catch Truex. Now Jimmy Johnson into second. Ryan Sieg runs in third. Austin Dillon back up into fourth. Greg Biffle might have got into the outside wall. He's fallen back to the tail end of this drafting group. Here comes a move by Sieg to the inside of Johnson. Still side by side as we exit turn number 4. At the start-finish line, it will be Ryan Sieg that holds second position. Only 2 laps to go on the stage. I don't think he'll be able to catch Martin Truex Jr. Austin Dillon trying to make his way through the middle for third position. Ross Chastain had to back out of the throttle, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is now back up into the top 5. And there's the white flag for Martin Truex Jr. in stage 1. Ryan Sieg has gained a lot of ground through turns 1 and 2. He might be able to make a move for it. He's side by side with Truex. But Truex will defend his position up on the outside line. And Martin Truex Jr. will win stage 1. Ryan Sieg gets a close second. Jimmy Johnson in third. And Austin Dillon just barely edged Chase Elliott for fourth position. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts. By Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste. And by Start and Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. First car out of pit road is Martin Truex Jr. getting out in front of Sieg. Drag race at the pit road line for third position. I believe Chase Elliott got it above Jimmy Johnson and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ryan Newman actually had an issue getting into his pit stall. He will now restart in 41st position, since not a single car retired or went 1 lap down in the last stage. Green flag for stage 2. Martin Truex Jr. did not get a very good jump above Ryan Sieg. The 39 car right on the back bumper of the 19 entering turn 1. Here comes a move by Sieg down the back straightaway. It didn't work at the end of stage 1. Can it work this time? Jimmy Johnson getting his way around teammate Chase Elliott. That's the battle for third position. Sieg holds the lead for the moment. And Ryan Sieg is the leader at the start-finish line. Jimmy Johnson making the move past Truex into second position. Sieg moves up the racetrack. Jimmy Johnson on the inside. Truex had to get way out of the throttle. It looks like he's going to fall back to 5th or 6th. Stenhouse into third position. Johnson side by side with the 39. Johnson will take the spot. Stenhouse into second, bump drafting down the front straight. Now Stenhouse with the move to the inside. Side by side down the back straightaway. Clint Boyer going for third spot on Stenhouse. On Sieg. Stenhouse running for the lead with Jimmy Johnson, but here comes Boyer. He forced the 47 up the racetrack, now going for the lead. Now here comes Eric Jones with a move 3 wide on the inside. Jones now holds the lead, still looking for that second career win. Three wide and many rows now almost 4 wide entering turn 3. Jimmy Johnson goes way wide on corner entry. Chase Elliott got up into the outside wall. Clint Boyer runs in second. Ryan Blaney will now take third position, but Denny Hamlin moves him up the track. So now Eric Jones, the leader, Clint Boyer in second, Denny Hamlin in third, Ryan Blaney going for 4th position, and Brad Keselowski in 5th. Here comes a move by Hamlin on the inside of Boyer. Now Denny Hamlin moves up into 2nd position. Here is Tyler Reddick, the 2nd-year driver, the winner of last season's Daytona race in August. Runs in 6th position in the 8 car. They swapped numbers over the offseason from 31 to 8. Haven't really shown the speed that they showed last year, and there's 4 wide in the back of the field. A little bit of contact between Bell and Chastain off turn 4. And look at how far Ryan Sieg has dropped since the restart, I should say, of the race. Oh, trouble, around goes the 2. Brad Keselowski goes around on the exit of turn 2, and the yellow flag is out. This is the race back to the caution. Eric Jones, the leader. Denny Hamlin in 2nd. The 14 car of Boyer in 3rd. I believe the 4 car of Harvick edged DiBenedetto for 4th position. Coming off turn 2, Brad Keselowski gets turned around off the front end of the 8 car of Tyler Reddick. Spins the thing around. So far doesn't hit anything, but when he re-emerges onto the racetrack, the 52 car of J.J. Yaley gets into the back end. Yaley goes up the racetrack into Reed Sorensen and Daniel Suarez. Garrett Smithley narrowly avoided this accident. The first car off pit road is actually Kurt Busch, getting off in front of Eric Jones. So now Kurt Busch is the leader, Eric Jones in 2nd, Matt DiBenedetto gets into 3rd position, and Clint Boyer runs in 4th position. Just on pit road, Kurt Busch went from 9th position to 1st. Still chasing that first win since August 2018 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Green flag. Eric Jones tries to make a move up on the outside of the 1 car. Has to file back in line, but now a crossover to the inside. Jones gets the lead, but 3 wide move by DiBenedetto into 1. Kurt Busch falls back into 3rd. DiBenedetto now the leader. DiBenedetto the leader into turn 3, but now he's got Clint Boyer on his back bumper. Boyer goes to the inside. Kurt Busch already fallen outside the top 10. Now here comes reigning champion Boyer into the lead on the exit of turn 2. 4 wide move by Greg Biffle once again on the inside. Matt DiBenedetto, I believe, was challenging the 14 to stay back in the lead. Still side by side as we exit turn number 4. Now 3 wide, almost, as Eric Jones backs out. DiBenedetto still going for the spot. Now inching ahead of the 14. The 21 car of Matt DiBenedetto now clears the rest of the field and holds a controlling lead over the 14. The 4 car of Kevin Harvick back up into 4th position, taking the spot off of Alex Bowman into turn 1. Now Boyer has another run on the 21. Remember that the 21 car last year made it very deep into the playoffs with driver Paul Menard, but he retired after ISM Raceway after finishing 4th in his last career race. Can DiBenedetto improve on those results this year? Here comes a move by Boyer to the inside. Forces the 21 up the racetrack, but still can't get the momentum off turn 2 to hold side by side down the back straight. Jimmy Johnson going 4 wide down the back straightaway. They file back down to 3, only to get 4 wide once again with Hamlin on the inside. Corey LaJoie getting a good run out of the 32 car, the 55 up into the outside wall. Now LaJoie being pressured by Greg Biffle up on the inside. This is the battle for 10th position. Biffle will take 10th spot. Here comes a move by Eric Jones on the 14 into turn 1. Jones will take 2nd position off the exit of turn 2. The driver who finished in 2nd position at the only mile-and-a-half race this year at Las Vegas runs in 4th spot, trying to take 3rd off Boyer. Now Bowman moves up into third position. Kevin Harvick trying to make a move on him. 88 car drifts up wide. There's the 95 car of Christopher Bell starting to creep his way back up into the top 5. Right now he's going for 6th position on the 11. And here comes Eric Jones to the inside of the 21. Jones will take the lead for a moment, but once again a 3-wide move on the 20 with Bowman on the inside. 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway. Only 3 laps to go in stage 1 with DiBenedetto clearing this group. Now Harvick 3 wide down on the low side for 2nd position. That has slowed down the run that the 88 and 20 were building on the leader DiBenedetto. DiBenedetto searching for career win number 2. He won in the Martinsville race last season, the second to last race of the year, with the white flag for stage 2 and DiBenedetto. Here comes a run by Bowman off turn number 2. Side by side down the back straightaway for the lead. DiBenedetto dives in, but he cannot hold the lead from Bowman. At the start-finish line, it's going to be Alex Bowman to win stage 2. Kevin Harvick stole 2nd position off DiBenedetto, with the 21 finishing in 3rd, the 14 in 4th, and the 47 in 5th. That is your results of stage 2. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start and Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. First car off pit road is the 88 of Bowman above Harvick, DiBenedetto, Boyer, and Stenhouse. And we are green for the final stage. Alex Bowman gets a fantastic jump above the 4 car of Harvick. And Harvick, being slow at the start, actually choked up all the cars behind him, so now DiBenedetto has a run on the inside. But the 4 car was able to get a run on the 88. Now Harvick to the inside of Bowman. Kevin Harvick will now take the lead, picking up where he left off at Iowa Speedway last week. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the inside to DiBenedetto. Stenhouse moves up into 3rd position. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. now takes 2nd position in the JTG Doherty race car. One of their best runs on an oval that they've ever seen. Denny Hamlin going 3 wide up the inside line. This is the battle for 5th position between him, Blaney, Boyer, and Dillon. Almost pack racing here at Chicago. Matt DiBenedetto moves under Alex Bowman. Matty D moves up into 3rd position, but now he has a nose under the 47. But Stenhouse clears him into 3. Denny Hamlin moves up into 4th position, the Daytona 500 winner. And Chris Buescher with a good run into 5th. Martin Truex Jr. going 4 wide on the inside of the tri-oval. Had to back out of the throttle or he would have made contact for sure with teammate Eric Jones. But now it looks like he's going to overtake his teammate on the exit of turn 2. And while we were watching the battling mid-pack, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. stole the lead off of Kevin Harvick. But DiBenedetto right on the back bumper of the 47. Stenhouse went a little bit wide, but he's going to be able to carry that momentum onto the back straightaway. Greg Biffle at the moment runs in 7th position, with Denny Hamlin trying to make a move for 2nd on the 21. DiBenedetto got a better exit of the corner than Hamlin, and he cuts down in front of the 11. Now Harvick falling back on that outside line. Chris Buescher moves up into 4th position. Greg Biffle trying to make a move past the 12 car of Blaney on the inside. This is the battle for 6th. Blaney goes all the way to the bottom of the track to block the 18. Bit of a 3-car breakaway between the 47, 21, and 11. And who would have thought coming into this weekend that Stenhouse would have a good enough car to lead for this long? And it's not even through strategy. the car that Stenhouse vacated at the end of last season. The 17 of Chris Buescher runs in 4th position. Unfortunately, though, Ryan Newman is having a very bad run. Remember earlier he missed his pit stall? Well, now he's running in 29th position. Hamlin gets moved up to the outside line. Chris Buescher now moves up into 3rd position. Now here he is, Joey Logano, going 3 wide on the inside of teammate Blaney. This is the battle for 5th position. Greg Biffle makes good use of those cars slowing down, trying to get 6th spot off teammate Truex. Remember, he's only going to be a teammate for 1 race. Buescher putting some pressure on DiBenedetto. Has a bit of a run on the 21 on the exit of turn 2. And Stenhouse really proving that the Hendrick alliance that JTG formed was worth it, gapping the field by more and more every lap. There is the early race battlers of Logano and Truex, both driven their way back up into the top 5. Now here comes a move by Buescher to the inside of the 21 once again. These two are going to be battling back and forth for many laps. But now Buescher finally gets it after almost a 10-lap battle for the spot, with Logano moving up into 3rd. Now Logano goes to the inside of the 17. Logano still side by side with Buescher. Harvick makes a move 3 wide to the inside. But Joey Logano drives through the middle to take 2nd position. And Kevin Harvick got very loose in the apex of 1 and 2, had to drive onto the apron for a few seconds. That was a big momentum break for the 4. He falls back to around 5th position. Ryan Blaney up into 4th spot. 3 Penske Fords right behind Stenhouse, and Logano made up a lot of ground on the 47. And Joey Logano finally makes his move on the inside of Stenhouse. Now side by side on the exit of turn 2. Who can get it into 3? And it's going to be Logano, but DiBenedetto building a big run with a push from the 12. So now Logano the leader. It looks like Stenhouse might fall back to around 5th, but DiBenedetto going for the spot. 3 wide for 3rd position for a moment, but Stenhouse backed out of the throttle, and now DiBenedetto is the leader. 3 wide with Harvick up the inside. And Biffle went 3 wide on the inside, now up into 4th position. This is actually one of the best runs for the 18 cars so far this year. Moves the 21 out of the way. And now Greg Biffle runs in 2nd position. Right now Harvick trying to put a little bit of a gap between him and the Gibbs cars of Biffle and Eric Jones, who battle side by side right now for 2nd position. Biffle will retain 2nd spot with a run on the outside line on the exit of turn 2. And there's Tyler Reddick, who moves up into 5th spot. Reddick getting a push still from Jimmy Johnson. Those bumpers are definitely locked for a little while. But now Johnson up on the outside line, tried to side draft the 8 going into turn 1. Does not work for Johnson, as he is now 3 wide up the outside line. But speaking of 3 wide, here comes Stenhouse up the inside. Greg Biffle cuts down in front of that group, now going for 2nd position. Remember that this whole field does have to make one more pit stop, but the yellow flag is out. Race back to the flag was won by Harvick above Biffle, Stenhouse, Reddick in 4th, and Buescher in 5th. Austin Dillon got turned on corner exit by Alex Bowman. Slides down in front of the Geico restart zone up in front of Chase Briscoe. Turns Briscoe around. Eric Amarola plows straight in, as well as Bubba Wallace. Oh, Christopher Bell gets a lot of damage. The 38 car gets a lot of damage, as well as the 24. A big mess on the front straightaway. First car out of the pits is Harvick above Biffle, Reddick, Stenhouse, and Buescher. Green flag. Harvick with a great jump above Biffle. Here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. trying to force the 8 car up the racetrack for 3rd position. Now Reddick coming with a bit of a run on Biffle, but here comes the 18, tried to make a move to the inside. Had to go up on the outside because he's got the 8 car going for second. This is letting Harvick get a bit of an advantage. Biffle will take back second position with a push coming from Stenhouse. The 8 car dives it in, but Chris Buescher goes 3 wide for third position, with Biffle clearing this group. Now Stenhouse as well clears them. Stenhouse up into third position, Reddick back into fourth. Jimmy Johnson trying to get by Chris Buescher for fifth position, and here comes the 47 for second. Stenhouse will take this spot. Can Kevin Harvick go 2 wins in a row? He's been known to do it before. And here comes Stenhouse on the pit road. He and Brian Patty with creative strategy. That is a big if, whether or not they can make it on fuel. Whether or not Harvick or Biffle or any of these guys can make it on fuel. We know that Stenhouse will be able to with his pit. But can any of these guys stretch it? Biffle now comfortably into second position. Jimmy Johnson runs in third. And I believe Tyler Reddick just took fourth position off of Joey Logano. Jimmy Johnson kind of hounding the rear bumper of the 18 of Biffle. Johnson still chasing that 85th Career Cup win. Johnson once again makes the move to the inside. Will it work this time? Now side by side on the exit of turn 2. Biffle has the draft. But I don't think it will be enough to keep second position, with the 7-time champ taking the spot. Jimmy Johnson with a run on Harvick. Down the back straightaway, almost onto the inside of the 4. But Harvick cuts him off on the entry to 3. Biffle back to the inside. They almost made contact, but Johnson and Biffle back side by side. And Harvick starting to extend his lead once again. Biffle will take the spot. Johnson starting to fall back on the outside. Greg Biffle has a bit of a run coming on the 4. Joey Logano was able to take third position, and Jimmy Johnson and Matt DiBenedetto still run side by side, with Ross Chastain debating on a 3-wide move into 1. Here comes the move by Chastain, now 3 wide for fourth position. Chastain has been known to make aggressive moves on mile-and-a-halfs. But here comes Bowman now 3 wide on Chastain. Biffle and Logano running side by side. This is the battle for second position. Harvick once again able to extend his lead. Biffle cuts down in front of the 22 to retain second position. Here comes the move once again by Logano. They're going to be running side by side, lap after lap. Every time they do this, it gives Harvick a bigger lead. Alex Bowman starting to gain ground because of these two running side by side. Now Logano clears Biffle. Biffle starting to fall back on the outside, but Bowman makes the move to the inside. Bowman and Chastain running nose to tail right now, almost bump drafting on the exit of turn 2. So now Bowman up into second. Greg Biffle rapidly falling positions up on the outside line, as well as Jimmy Johnson. We have less than 10 laps to go here at Chicago. Your top 5 is Harvick, Bowman, Chastain going for the spot on Bowman, Logano, and Blaney. Let's make a note that the driver who started off the season as a road course ringer, Jan Magnussen, runs in 14th position. His best ever run on an oval if he manages to finish. Now Bowman starting to gain a lot of ground on Harvick, but Chastain down to the inside. That brought the 88 car right back to the pack. Harvick still with a controlling lead of almost 0.4 of a second above Bowman. Jimmy Johnson just made a move past the Penske teammates into 4th position. Chastain once again trying to take the spot off Bowman, but has to fall back into line. Denny Hamlin tried to make a 3-wide move into turn 3. Did not work out. And at the start-finish line, we are now going to have 5 laps to go at Chicago. The top 4 cars, you can throw a blanket over them. Bowman gained massive amounts of ground on Harvick, but the second and third place cars are once again going to run side by side. Ross Chastain and Jimmy Johnson run side by side at the moment. That's going to give Logano a shot at taking fourth position. Chastain dives in, now side by side for second position. Ross Chastain will take the spot. Jimmy Johnson going for it as well. Can anyone catch Harvick? There is the lap car of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who is as well on the front straightaway. May have a factor before this race ends, with Jimmy Johnson making the move on the inside, past Chastain. Now 3 wide for second with Logano, the pole sitter, making the move. Logano had to back out of the throttle. Jimmy Johnson still running in second. Only 2 laps to go. The 33 car of Jan Magnussen had to hit pit road, ran out of fuel. Only 1.5 laps left in the race. Jimmy Johnson starting to set up a run on Harvick. And there's the white flag. Can Harvick go 2 in a row, or can Jimmy Johnson win number 85? And Harvick doing just what he did last season, starting off the spring very strong. And Harvick will go 2 in a row at Chicago. Kevin Harvick wins 2 races in a row above Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Greg Biffle with a respectable 8th place finish, Denny Hamlin in 9th, and Matt DiBenedetto round out the top 10. Kevin Harvick, who led over 90% of last season's regular season championship battle, who lost the title at the last race at Daytona before the playoffs, is now once again the point leader by 4 points above Denny Hamlin. Joey Logano moved up 4 positions in points into 3rd spot. Daniel Suarez dropped 3 positions down to 4th. Jimmy Johnson moves up 3 into 5th. Newman down 2 into 6th. Chase Briscoe down 4 into 7th. Kyle Larson down 2 into 8th position. Ryan Blaney stays in 9th, and Chris Buescher as well stays in 10th position. And in the playoff standings, Kevin Harvick obviously is as well the leader, with the only driver with 2 wins. Hamlin, Suarez, and Magnussen are the other drivers locked in. Now the cutoff line includes Martin Truex Jr. 10 points above, Alex Bowman 9 points above, Ty Dillon 4 points above, with Bowyer 4 points out, last year's champion, mind you. Corey LaJoie only 6 points out, Almirola 9 points out, and Eric Jones 12 points out. The next race is the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 from Texas Motor Speedway. Catch it right here on the Speed Station.